like to speak briefly about the subject of male-female heterosexual relations in Western culture, specifically internet dating. Over the years, I've observed numerous comments by females that they receive inappropriate, unwelcome responses from men. This is understandable, if not excusable. One of the most prominent complaints is that they receive photographs of gentlemen's genitalia. As briefly as I can, I'll explain that it isn't the intention of the gentleman to gross you out. What you do not understand is that if you sent him a picture of your genitalia, he would consider that a very friendly gesture. What we make mistakes in dating and life is that we often offer the things that we ourselves would like to receive. We don't understand the market. And dating and relationships is a market. It is a transaction. It is a trade. It doesn't have to be that way, but it is. So, I understand you don't want to see those photographs. It's no use saying you don't want to see them, and I'm about to explain why. So, the next thing that I hear complaints is that men send responses that show that the men have not bothered to read the woman's profile. It's usually a brief, "Hey baby, what's up?" one-line message. There's a very good reason for this. What most women are not aware of is that on a typical dating site and in most of life, women are outnumbered by men at least 100 to 1. A man joins a dating site or goes into a bar, and he very carefully selects a particular person, tailors what he's going to say to her profile, and he's ignored. He does this 10 or 20 times and begins to realize it's not just him. Women just ignore most men. He's outnumbered. So what he has to do is find another way. Men are problem solvers. Okay? This is a problem. His solution, and I'm not saying it's a good one, is spam. He creates a standard short message like, "Hey baby, what's up? I'm Adam. Check out my profile." He cut and pastes this and sends it to every profile of every female on the website. All of them. Why? Because after sending 20 personalized messages and getting no response, he then finds, oh, I sent 100 spam and I got one reply. If I send 300 spam, I'll get 3 replies. And having been a person that's done both of these things in the past, I can report that yes, spam does work. It got me laid, and it led to my getting into some long-term relationships. It's just a fact. I know you don't like it. I don't like it. The men doing it mostly don't like it. But in part, it's your fault. And I know why. A woman being outnumbered on a website is going to get deluged with mail in her box. If you'd like to know what it's like to be a man, create a fake profile. Put up a guy's photo from stock images. Pretend to be a man. Write a nice, long, friendly profile. And then send a few messages to women. But make them very detailed messages. Oh, I read your profile. I see you like the violin. I play the bass. We should get together and, try it. You know what you're going to get? Silence. No one's ever going to respond. And I know why. Because women are deluged with replies to their ads, regardless of who they are. Partly because of this spam thing. These guys that are desperate and hopeless because they're getting ignored. Two things. So maybe three things. So number one, ladies, it's your fault because you never make the first move. You sit back like a Disney princess on a mountaintop waiting for Prince Charming, the perfect guy, to come along. You don't go looking for a nice guy. You insist, you jump through my hoops. You prove it. You pass my tests. I'm not going to ask you. You have to ask me. That's pretty conceited, pretty fucked up, pretty evil, pretty rotten. And it leaves you alone, as you very well deserve to be alone if you have that kind of a snotty attitude. But you get away with it because we men are so unbelievably desperate. Biology, the need for sex and orgasm, causes us to chase you and lie to you and offer you things that you want that you don't deserve, simply because we're addicted the way a heroin addict is addicted. We have to have that sex. We're hardwired that way. And you better be goddamn grateful we are, because it causes us to be violent. Oh, I don't like violent men. Yes, you do. Violent men are called the police and firemen and soldiers who give up their lives so that you can sit on your mountaintop going, I'm a Disney princess. Men will protect me. Yeah, they will. But only because they get pussy. And you're not giving up the pussy. Some of you are. I know. But not enough to go around. And the problem isn't that women aren't giving up enough pussy. The problem is there are too many males. Nature intended there to be one male for every 10 females. And that's great out in the wild. He can get them all pregnant. Fine, good. But that didn't work out. It developed into, oh, let's go to war against the other tribe. And then instead of killing all the males, they kept them around and said, well, you're slaves now. You work in the fields. And that developed into Western civilization. So we're kind of stuck in that model. At any rate, ladies, you complained that you get inappropriate photographs, you get inappropriate responses, yet you don't send any messages of your own, usually. And that's idiotic. You're your own worst enemy. Go looking for what you think you want. But the fact of the matter is, in your heart of hearts, you know you're not good enough to get it. How do I know this? Because every woman has this ridiculous fantasy. Well, when I was a little girl, Daddy told me I was perfect. He lied to you. You're not perfect. Being different is not the same as being special. Your profile offers things that men don't care about. Your profile talks about things that men don't consider valuable. You have to be a salesman, a saleswoman. You have to offer what the customer wants in order to get the payment that you demand. You're going into Canada with Mexican pesos and expecting the corner store to accept Mexican pesos in Canada. And they're going to go, no, we only accept Canadian money here, not Mexican. You know, you're being an idiot. You're demanding something that's impossible, that's never ever going to happen. That's why you're alone. That's why you're bitter. And you are bitter. See all of these women so angry because they got divorced, or so angry, I'm tired of all these married men approaching me. Don't message me if you're married. Well, you're being an idiot. I'm not saying you should date married men. No, I don't believe in that at all. The idiocy comes in when you say that. Why? The guy's going to read that and he's going to go, oh, I need to be really careful and hide my ring and never tell her that I'm married, he's still going to hit on you. It's not going to make him stop doing that. You're a moron. And you never step back and go, why are there so many men that are married trying to have sex with me? Duh! It's because you haven't gone up to the married women at work and married women in the coffee shop and all the married women you know and go, hey, could you please start giving sex to your husband again? Because all these married men are hitting on me for sex. You know? Maybe there's a reason why. So I don't want to make this one too long, but I'll end with an anecdote. Years ago, I lived with a girlfriend, and she had a friend from work or school or something, or maybe both, called up very distraught. And the female friend says, oh, my live-in boyfriend has cheated on me sexually. I can't live here anymore. I have to leave him. I'm so upset. Can I come stay with you? Okay? So, being the kind of idiot I was then, I went and slept on the couch so that the two girls could sleep in the bed that I paid for, in the apartment I was paying for. At any rate, because my girlfriend couldn't cook to save her life, I was the cook. I woke up on a Saturday morning early, and I decided to go in the kitchen and make cinnamon rolls. The girls were sleeping late. They got up, and there's a wonderful smell, and they go, oh, what's that wonderful thing you're cooking? And I said, oh, cinnamon rolls. Oh. They sat down, and I gave them a pan of cinnamon rolls. And I thought, well, you know, they'll try them. Well, they tried them. Oh, Evan, these are even better than Cinnabon. You're such a good cook. And they proceeded to wolf down an entire pan of huge cinnamon rolls, like they were starving. And they certainly weren't starving. Both of these ladies were overweight by anyone's standard. Well, that's not true. That's not true. They didn't need any food, let's put it that way. Okay, they weren't fat. And during the course of the time this woman stayed with us, she whined and cried and wept about how she'd been betrayed. And how could he do that to her? How could he have sex with someone else, come home, act like everything was normal, and say, I love you to her? And I kept my silence until eventually she turned to me and said, Evan, you're a man. How could he do that to me? All right, you fucking asked for it. I'm going to give it to you. And I said, food. She said, what? What do you mean, food? I said, remember how you really liked the cinnamon rolls I made? Yeah. Well, you didn't need that many cinnamon rolls to survive. You liked them. It was pleasure, so you kept eating. Well, yeah, okay. Right. So, the thing about sex is, even if you're getting enough to survive, if you're a man, you're going to want more. There's no limit to how much you're going to want. And even if what you have at home is really good, that doesn't mean you won't want something else. He didn't want that other girl instead of you. He wanted that other girl in addition to you. It was simply greed, simply lust, nothing more. It was not a reflection on you. It was not a rejection of you. The mistake you're making is treating your boyfriend as if he were female. A female is trained by evolution and biology to find one perfect man and breed only with him. Your boyfriend is not female. He is a man. A man is trained by biology and evolution to spread his seed anywhere and everywhere he can to maximize the chance that he might have progenitors or children or whatever you want to call it. Okay? He's in huge competition with all other males. He can't fight for the top female. He can't hold out. He can't go, I'm the handsomest dude. All you women fight over who's going to get to fuck me. There might be one guy like that. Might be. Maybe, what, fucking Elvis Presley? How many Elvis Presleys are there? But the reality, the biological reality is, even an ugly, fat old woman will have someone like 9 or 10 or 12 or 80 guys lining up going, I'll take the orgasm. I'll fuck her. I'll accept anything. Whatever I can get, I'm desperate. I'm a heroin addict. I'm a sex addict. And it's not being twisted. This is simple biology. They're not bad people. We are driven to do this against our will. We don't like it any better than you do. We don't like hitting on women. We don't like hitting on women we don't like. We hate your personalities. We think you're stupid and superficial and lazy and entitled and condescending and unattractive. We want to hold out for Barbie the same way you do hold out for Ken. But unlike you, we have to settle. And yes, I admit, women do settle. And when they do settle, what do? They spend their married life punishing the guy. Every single day, they tell him how he failed, how he's worthless, how he's not good enough. I should have married so-and-so. You're a rotten husband. You're a rotten father. Bitter, 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 bitter. And what a surprise. Now he's run away and gotten a divorce. And married a 24-year-old girl because you didn't give him any sex for 16 years in a row. What a shock. So I told this to this woman. I said, look, not as harsh as I've put it here, but I said, look, he didn't want that girl instead of you. He wanted her in addition to you. He wasn't rejecting you. He was honest when he came home and still had sex with you. He still wanted you. He was honest when he came home and said, I love you, because he still had the same exact emotional feelings about you. He didn't go have sex with that girl because he was angry with you, or he didn't like you, or didn't love you. He did it for biological reasons, and you're blowing it all out of proportion deliberately so that you can be a victim and ignore any of the things that you might have done or said or neglected to do or say that could have contributed to him being restless. Did you pay attention to him enough? Were you too demanding? This in no way condones cheating. I've been cheated on several times. And it's excruciatingly painful for the person cheated on. I understand that woman's pain, but she bears some of the responsibility for understanding and investigating. And the guy deserves the benefit of the doubt is what I'm saying. So I'm going to end this and try to break this topic into several videos, because there is so much to say about gender relations, and I don't want to lose my train of thought. And I already know this is very long and rambling. It's about 12 minutes long. I apologize. Don't mean to be so off topic. But that finishes this segment, number 1 of gender relations by me. And I'm certainly no authority. But take it with a grain of salt, but do take it. Fact check it. Talk to people. Don't just take my word for it. So That's enough for now. Over and out.